Hello, hello. Cindy Strong here. How is everyone today? All right. So it's Tech Tip Tuesday. However, today it's not really a technical tip. This has been actually something that's kind of been on my mind for a couple of days to talk about. So I thought I would talk a little bit more about this because I think it is so important for everybody to hear this once in a while. And we're all out there building businesses in the online world, and you can hide behind the DMs and you can do all that. But in the long run, it's all about building relationships, right? Right, it is. So I think that it's easiest to think about it this way. All right. Say, for instance, you're in person. Now, for years and years and years, a lot of you know. Well, first off, okay, I'm Cindy Strong. For those of you that don't know me, um, I own Strong Social Media Solutions, where I help make tech and social media easy for you. So I do a variety of things, some administrative work like VA work, and a little bit of coaching. And I also have a Facebook group called Tech Talk for Entrepreneurs. It's a free group. You guys are welcome to jump on. If you're not already in there, I'm streaming out to about 6 different areas right now. So come on in, showcase your business, talk about what you need, and would love to have you. I also have a paid group called the Strongbox VIP Club. It's all about marketing your business. So with that said, I want to talk about relationships today. I was a hairdresser for 37 years behind the chair. And being a hairdresser, it is all about relationships because you have to have a relationship. You're touching people and you're dealing with their hair. And that is a really important thing. I mean, think about it. If your hair's screwed up, if you're having a bad hair day, doesn't it kind of like make your whole entire day go bad? So could you imagine being the hairdresser that made somebody's bad hair day every day? That's a lot of pressure. But I loved it. I love to be able to help people through that. And I learned a lot about building relationships through that job. Social media is no different. But I think that we have a tendency to lose sight of building that relationship, to lose sight of that because we can hide behind the DMs and the text messages. We don't have to show up in person. And I think that what happens is a lot of times, once you get that sale, once you get that initial money from whatever product you're selling or opportunity, that person sometimes gets left in the dust. And sometimes that doesn't feel too good. Am I right? I mean, I am probably guilty of that at some point too, but I really try hard to remember that every person is a human and they have feelings. And a lot of times, if you round back to somebody, they will tell you, I'm so glad you reached out to me. And that's a good feeling because you know that you're helping people. So, with that said, think about that relationship that you're building with somebody that could end up to be a long-term relationship. Sometimes you think, oh gosh, I'm just like chit-chatting with this person. I want to get on with it. Do they want my stuff or not? Well, that person could potentially be somebody that may lead you to somebody that could be your superstar. Maybe it's not that person exactly, but they're going to remember how you treated them. They're going to remember how you built that relationship, and they're going to actually tell their friends about that and how wonderful that was. And truly, you have to have it in your heart too. You have to really want to be in a relationship with people. And I'm not talking about, like marrying them or whatever. I'm talking about, a relationship, a friendship. After doing hair for so many years, sometimes I would go to bed at night thinking about somebody that had been weighing on my mind that I hadn't talked to in a while, that hadn't maybe been in for their haircut. And I was usually booked out months in advance. But so, say for instance, I hadn't seen them in a while. Well, I had one particular client like this, and I knew that she'd been going through a lot of stuff. And so on my way to work, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, I just don't really have time. But on my way to work, it was weighing so heavy on me that I called her and she didn't answer. And I just left a little voice message that said, "Hey, you know what? I've been thinking about you. Yeah, how's your hair doing? How are you doing in life? What's going on? I've just really been thinking about you, and you know, kind of concerned about how you've been feeling these days because I know you've been going through a lot." The message that I got back almost brought me to tears because she said to me, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe you left me that message. I'm crying right now because nobody seems to care. And for you to reach out after all this time and tell me that, I really appreciate it." See, it's already making me cry a little bit. And I'm thinking that one client, I ended up making a lifelong client throughout the rest of my career. And it was just because of that one little phone call, that one little reach out, because I really was concerned. I didn't know what was going on. Not that I want to get into everybody's business, but sometimes, it just feels good to be able to go to your hairdresser and vent and, kind of lay everything out. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that I heard that maybe I didn't want to hear, but that's okay. You kind of learn to compartmentalize some of that stuff. But anyway, it made me realize a lot going through. There was a couple of other times during my career that was so profound. One time, this lady, this was great because she had been trying to get in with me for, I don't know, like 3 months, and the timing just was not good. She was kind of a prominent person in our community, and I knew that she knew a lot of people that I knew, but I had never actually done her hair. And she kept trying to get in, and it was just not working out with time. So finally, she gets this appointment. Well, the day of the appointment, one of my very best friends died tragically of a heart attack. And it was an hour before this lady's appointment. And I told my assistant, "I can't work today. I got to go. You have to call everybody and reschedule." And that lady was on that day. So, how would you feel as a client, a potential client? Because obviously she wasn't a client yet. How would you feel if now you'd been trying to get in for 3 months and all of a sudden, the day of, an hour before your appointment, you get a phone call? I mean, I don't care what it's for, I don't care how tragic it is. You're probably not going to feel that great about it, right? So when all the dust settled, it was about 3 or 4 days later, I actually gave her a phone call and I said, "Listen, I am terribly sorry about rescheduling or about canceling your appointment. And I hope you can forgive me for that. I was really looking forward to our appointment. And it just so happened that, bad luck happened that day. And that was the day of your appointment. So I hope you can forgive me for that. I totally understand if you found somebody else, but if you're still up for it, I would love to be your hairdresser." That's all it took because she became my client for the rest of my career as a hairdresser. And she was a very good client and ended up being a close friend as well. Had I not made that phone call, and she told me this, had you not made that phone call, I wouldn't have given you a second thought. So it is about building relationships. You can do the same thing. Don't hide behind the DMs. Actually reach out to people. If you haven't heard from them for a while, what about somebody on your team? What about somebody on your downlines team that you can see it's maybe struggling. You look at their Facebook page and you think, gosh, is there something I could do to help this person? What about reaching out? What about doing something like that? What would that take? Oh, I'm just too busy. I can't do it. I don't know. 3 minutes with a voice message, even less than 3 minutes, just reaching out, just saying, hey, is there something I can help you with? Um, are you struggling with this, that, or the other? Could mean a lifelong, or as long as life is in Facebook, relationship that could potentially be a slam dunk. Isn't that what you want? Or do you just want some, I don't know, bunch of random people out there buying your product? You don't really know who they are. You could really care less. If that's the kind of business you want, then maybe, continue to do what you're doing. But I find that you're going to, when you're building relationships, I'm starting to get tongue tied here, but when you're building relationships, the more you care, you truly care, you take that into your heart and you truly care about somebody, the longer the relationship will last. And it will last through the test of time a lot of times. It will last through negativity and all kinds of stuff. So you're going to end up having a much more loyal following than you would if it was just a bunch of random people. Even if it's somebody that's actually a stranger, reach out and say, oh, hey, I'm so glad to have you in my world here. Tell me a little bit about you. I want to know. And make sure you're tracking this too, because there could be literally sometimes that you just don't remember where you found this person or where they were from. It seems like a lot of work, but this is your job, guys, right? It's your job. Don't make it about, I don't have time for this. Make it about the relationships. Your business will succeed so much better and faster if you build those solid relationships. It will go a long way. So that's something that I just really passionately wanted to talk about, and might be a little boring to some of you, and you might be like, yeah, whatever. But I'm telling you, it's totally worth it. Build those relationships. Reach out to those people that you haven't heard from for a while. It doesn't mean that they're trying to ignore you. It doesn't mean that at all. Just reach out. Say, hey, what's going on? What's been happening? Why can't you do that? Because you're always trying to find somebody else that'll buy your stuff? No. Nurture what you already have. Because I'm telling you, and people will tell you this too, it's easier to actually gain trust and loyalty from somebody that's already in your network than to reach out and try to bring in somebody new. Already there, they're already in your network. Just reach out to them. They're going to be much more loyal, and you to them as well. Think about what you'll gain just from having a relationship with somebody that you may not know that well, that you guys could have like some serious collaboration with. And then that changes everybody's world. So that's all I had to say today. I'll get off my little soapbox. I'm very passionate about this though. But I will see you guys next week for Tech Tip Tuesday. Have a great rest of your day. And hey, hit me up in the DMs. Talk to you later.